In this special video, you'll discover why certain food choices may be affecting your aging process more than you realize, and how a few simple adjustments to your diet can completely transform your vitality. You'll be surprised by the last food we discuss. But before we begin, I want you to listen closely to this story, for it holds the key to understanding the great lesson of this video. High on a steep mountain lived an old man whose vitality was unmatched. At 103 years old, he moved with the agility of youth, and his mind was as sharp as a scholar's. The people of the valley spoke in awe of his energy and wisdom, often asking themselves what his secret to longevity might be. One day, a curious young man, eager to unlock the mystery of this vitality, embarked on the arduous journey to the mountain's peak. He walked for days along winding paths, climbing steep rocks, until he finally reached the old man's humble hut. The wise man greeted him with a warm smile and invited him inside. "You have journeyed far, young one," the old man said in a calm and serene voice. "You must be hungry. How about sharing the food I'm preparing?" Intrigued, the young man nodded eagerly. Little did he know that what he was about to learn would change his life forever. A treasure trove of culinary wisdom awaited him. But before we delve into the secrets of this old man's vitality, if you find value in these teachings, please subscribe to Stoic Rise Up and click the bell to stay updated with future videos. With a mysterious smile, the wise old man reached into his pocket and revealed a handful of small blue spheres, the first clue to the wisdom he was about to share. "Do you know why I am 103 years old and still have the memory of a young man in his 20s? The wise man asked, his eyes sparkling with wisdom. The answer was literally in the palm of his hand, and it was about to revolutionize the young disciple's understanding of longevity. "These little blue treasures," the old man continued, holding up the blueberries, "are much more than just fruit. They are the key to keeping your brain young and agile." The young disciple looked on in amazement, never imagining that something so small could hold so much power. "Have you ever considered that the fountain of youth might be hidden in your refrigerator?" the old man asked with a sly smile. "Get ready, because these tiny fruits are backed by science as true warriors against aging." "Blueberries," he explained, "are an antioxidant bomb, those microscopic heroes that fight oxidative stress in our bodies. Imagine these antioxidants as an army of shields, protecting your cells from the wear and tear of time. It's like having an internal security team working around the clock." The old man's gaze deepened as he shared more. "But there's more. A recent study has shown that regular consumption of blueberries is linked to improved cognitive function in older adults. It's as if these little fruits are personal trainers for your brain, keeping it sharp and agile." The wise man paused, a glimmer of amusement in his eyes, before sharing an anecdote. "When I was young, I thought the only way to keep my mind sharp was to solve puzzles all day long. Imagine my surprise when I discovered the answer was right in my breakfast." He grinned mischievously. "Since I started eating blueberries regularly, my memory has improved so much that I can even recall the bad jokes my grandfather used to tell me. I'm still deciding whether that's a blessing or a curse." The young disciple couldn't help but laugh, realizing that wisdom and humor often walk hand in hand. "So you're saying these blueberries are like a time machine for the brain?" he asked, clearly intrigued. "Exactly," the old man replied with a smile. "It's like giving your brain a one-way ticket to the past without needing to travel 88 miles per hour in a DeLorean." Turning toward the camera, the old man leaned in, as if about to reveal the universe's best-kept secret. "So, dear friends, the next time you see a blueberry, remember, it's not just a fruit, it's a passport to a younger, more agile mind. Who would have thought the fountain of youth could be so delicious?" With a mischievous glint in his eye, the wise man added, "But blueberries aren't the only secret. Have you ever wondered why some older people seem to have the vitality of a 20-year-old? The young disciple leaned forward, eager to hear more. The old man continued, "You see, green leafy vegetables are like little shields, protecting you against the passage of time. They are rich in vitamins A, C, and K, which are essential for maintaining good eye health, a strong immune system, and resilient bones. But that's not all," the elder added with enthusiasm. The folates in these vegetables act like the architects of your body, necessary for the production of healthy new cells. It's as if a construction crew is constantly at work, keeping your body in top condition. The young man, although intrigued, couldn't help but grimace at the thought of eating more vegetables. Seeing his reaction, the old man let out a hearty laugh. "Ah, I see you're not too fond of vegetables. Let me share something amusing with you. When I was young, I believed spinach would give me superpowers like Popeye. Turns out I wasn't wrong. Only my superpowers are longevity and vitality." This light-hearted anecdote made the young man smile, easing his reservations. The older man allowed his words to settle for a moment before continuing with a more serious tone. A recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that those who regularly consume green leafy vegetables have a significantly lower risk of developing age-related chronic diseases. It's as if every bite of these vegetables is a little elixir of youth. With a playful smile, the old man added, "But it's not just about reluctantly eating vegetables. It's about embracing the process, enjoying the flavors and textures. Did you know there are over 1,000 varieties of leafy greens in the world? It's like having an endless buffet of options to maintain your youth." The young man, now fully captivated, asked, "And how can I incorporate more of these vegetables into my diet?" The old man smiled, pleased by his disciple's growing interest. "Ah, now that's the right question. Start by adding a handful of spinach to your morning smoothie. Experiment with different salads, kale, arugula, or romaine lettuce, and try sautéed chard or broccoli. The key is variety and finding what you enjoy." The elder concluded with a thoughtful look. "Remember, taking care of your body is not just about extending your life. It's about enhancing its quality. As the Roman philosopher Seneca wisely said, life is long if you know how to use it. And one of the best ways to use it is by nourishing your body with the right foods." The old man smiled at the look of amazement on his young apprentice's face. "I see you've noticed my salmon dish," he said with a wink. "This isn't just any fish, you know. He's a born fighter, both in the water and within our bodies. Salmon, that brave swimmer who dares to go against the current, carries within its silvery scales a treasure of youth," the old man began, his voice full of wisdom. "Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, this remarkable fish is like an elixir for our cells. These fatty acids," he explained, "are like tiny shields, protecting our brain and heart from the wear and tear of time." "But salmon is not alone in this mission," the elder continued. "Other fatty fish like sardines, tuna, and mackerel join this crusade against aging. It's as if nature has assembled an aquatic army to defend our health." The old man paused, then asked, "Did you know that more than 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Hippocrates spoke of the benefits of fish? He famously said, 'Let food be thy medicine,' and he was right." A recent study, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, revealed that people who regularly consume fatty fish have a 15% lower risk of developing heart disease. It's as if every bite of salmon is a small shield for your heart. But it's not just about heart health, the elder added. DHA, one of the omega-3 fatty acids found in salmon, is vital for keeping our brains sharp and focused. Every time you eat salmon, it's like giving your brain a gentle workout. The young apprentice listened intently, amazed at how something as simple as fish could have such profound benefits. "So," he asked eagerly, "should I eat salmon every day?" The old man laughed heartily. "You don't need to turn into a grizzly bear," he teased. 2 or 3 servings a week is enough. The key is variety and balance." With a twinkle in his eye, he added, "Salmon is as versatile as it is beneficial. You can roast it, bake it, grill it, or even eat it raw as sushi. It's like having a culinary superpower in your kitchen." The young man nodded, eager to incorporate this new wisdom into his life. But the old man wasn't finished. "There's something more," the elder said, his tone becoming more reflective. "Salmon not only nourishes us physically, it also teaches us a valuable lesson." "What lesson?" the apprentice asked, intrigued. "Salmon reminds us of the importance of swimming against the current when necessary," the wise man replied. "In life, there are moments when we must go against the flow to achieve our goals. The salmon does it to spawn and continue its lineage. We do it to grow, to improve, and to live authentically. Sometimes the hardest paths are the ones that bring the greatest rewards." The salmon reminds us of the importance of swimming against the current when necessary, the elder said. In life, there are times when we must go against the grain to achieve our goals. The salmon does this to spawn, and we too must do it to grow and improve. The old man's eyes twinkled mischievously as he shifted gears. Now, my young apprentice, he said with a grin, let's talk about brains. The young man looked puzzled, but the elder continued, no, not the kind you carry in your head, but the kind you can carry in your pocket. With a dramatic flourish, the old man pulled a handful of walnuts from his bag. See these little brains? They're the key to wisdom and longevity. The young man couldn't help but laugh, imagining miniature brains everywhere, but the old man remained serious. Walnuts, he explained, are a true nutritional treasure. These small wonders are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and protein, a real elixir for both your mind and body. Intrigued, the young man asked, how can these little nuts do so much? The old man smiled, pleased by his apprentice's curiosity. Nuts are like shields against aging. The healthy fats in them help keep your heart strong, while their antioxidants fight the cell damage that causes us to age. Did you know that the ancient Romans called them food of the gods? He continued, and they weren't wrong. Recent studies show that eating nuts regularly can improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of age-related diseases. The young man, fascinated, began to see the walnuts in a new light. So, he asked eagerly, should I eat nuts all day long? The old man chuckled. Moderation is key, my young friend. A handful a day is enough to reap their benefits. But it's not just about eating them. It's important to incorporate them into a balanced diet. Add them to your salads, sprinkle them on yogurt, or simply enjoy them as a snack. Variety is the foundation of good nutrition. He went on, nuts are versatile and delicious. You can use them in savory or sweet dishes. Even the greatest chefs use them to add texture and flavor to their creations. And don't forget, the sage added with a wink, that by eating nuts you're literally feeding your brain. It's like giving your mind a nourishing hug with every bite. The young man laughed. Master, I think I'm seeing brains everywhere. The old man smiled, satisfied that his lesson had sunk in. Remember, he concluded, true wisdom is not just in what you eat, but in how you live. Nuts are just one piece of the longevity puzzle. Living mindfully, making conscious choices, these are the habits that lead to a life of vitality. Positive attitude, regular exercise, and meaningful relationships are just as important, the old man said as he slowly rose from his seat and walked over to a small refrigerator in the corner of the room. With an enigmatic smile, he added, now, let me show you something that might change the way you think about aging. From the fridge, the sage pulled out a pitcher filled with a deep, richly colored liquid. As he poured the purple juice into 2 cups, he turned to his young apprentice. Are you ready to discover the power hidden in this simple juice? Curious, the young man watched intently. What is that? He asked, intrigued. This, the old man replied, is grape juice. But not just any juice. It is an elixir of youth that has been in front of us all along. The young man chuckled, thinking the sage was jesting. An elixir of youth? Really? But the serious expression on the old man's face made him realize there was something more to his words. Yes, the sage continued, this juice contains a compound called resveratrol, a powerful antioxidant that fights cellular aging. It's like a protective shield for the body. The young man took a sip, savoring the sweetness. Delicious. But how can something so simple be so powerful? Ah, that's the beauty of nature, the old man replied. Resveratrol isn't only found in grapes, but also in other purple fruits like blackberries and blueberries. It's as if nature has given us a color code to identify the most beneficial foods. The sage continued. Recent studies have shown that resveratrol can improve cardiovascular health and brain function. It works quietly, protecting the heart and mind, much like the grapevine, which grows slowly but powerfully, grounding itself firmly in the earth. It has even been suggested that resveratrol may activate genes related to longevity, the old man continued. Imagine drinking from the fountain of youth every day. Fascinated, the young man asked, so should I drink liters of grape juice every day? The old man laughed heartily. Not so fast, young man. As Aristotle wisely said, virtue lies in the middle ground. Moderation is key, even with the healthiest of foods. The young man nodded, absorbing the wisdom in the old man's words. It's amazing how something so commonplace can hold so much power, he mused. But the old man wasn't finished yet. With an enigmatic smile, he leaned in and asked, What if I told you that the secret to maintaining youth isn't only in what you eat, but in the tiny tenets that live within your gut? The apprentice looked at him in confusion. Tenets in my gut? What are you talking about, master? The sage chuckled softly. I'm referring to probiotics, my young friend. Those little beneficial bacteria that reside in our digestive system and are critical to our health and longevity. With a theatrical flourish, the old man pulled a container of yogurt from the fridge. This simple food, he said, is a true fountain of youth. It's full of probiotics that not only improve digestion, but also strengthen the immune system and help us fight the effects of aging. The young man stared at the yogurt in amazement. You mean this ordinary yogurt is actually an elixir of youth? Exactly, nodded the old man. The ancient Bulgarians knew this well. In fact, it was the Bulgarian bacteriologist Stamen Grigorov who discovered Lactobacillus bulgaricus, the bacteria that ferments milk to produce yogurt. It's no coincidence that Bulgaria has one of the longest living populations in the world. The elder continued. You see, these probiotics are like an army of tiny warriors fighting for your health. They maintain the balance in your gut microbiota, which is crucial for healthy aging. Recent studies show that a well-balanced gut microbiota can positively influence chronic inflammation, a key factor in aging. The old man paused, then added, It's like you have a garden in your gut, and these probiotics are the gardeners, keeping everything in harmony. The young man, fully engaged, asked, So, should I eat yogurt all day? The old man laughed again. Moderation, as always, is key. One yogurt a day is enough, but remember, not all yogurts are the same. Look for those that contain live active cultures and avoid those laden with added sugars. In addition, the sage continued, yogurt is not the only source of probiotics. Kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and other fermented foods are also excellent choices. Variety is important for maintaining a diverse and healthy microbiota. The young man, now excited by this new knowledge, gazed at his yogurt with newfound respect. Master, he said with a smile, I think I'll start talking to my yogurt every morning to thank my little allies. The old man laughed. Well, I'm not sure they can hear you, but gratitude is always a good practice. As Marcus Aurelius once said, when you arise in the morning, think of the precious privilege of being alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. And now perhaps we can add, to eat yogurt. The sage paused and continued. True wisdom lies in understanding that our body is a complex ecosystem. Taking care of our intestinal tenets is as important as taking care of ourselves. It's part of the balance we seek in life. Before moving on to the next superfood, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the bell so you never miss future content. If this type of wisdom speaks to you, comment below. I love wisdom. And let me know what topics you'd like to see in upcoming videos. I read all the comments. Also, I'm working on an ebook that will be available soon, and I'll leave the link in the comments so you can check it out. Let's keep learning and improving our lives together. With an enigmatic smile, the wise old man stood up and walked over to a small teapot that was gently steaming in the corner of the room. Have you ever wondered if the fountain of youth might be hidden in your kitchen? He asked as he poured a light green liquid into 2 ceramic cups. The young man watched with curiosity as the old man handed him one of the cups. What is this? He asked, intrigued. This, my dear apprentice, the wise man replied, is green tea. But it's not just any tea. It's a brew that has been revered for centuries in the East for its rejuvenating properties. A tea that rejuvenates? The young man said, skeptical. That sounds too good to be true. The old man laughed warmly. Ah, doubt, the ever-present companion of youth. But let me share something that may change your perspective. The sage leaned in and explained. Green tea is packed with powerful antioxidants known as catechins, especially one called EGCG. These antioxidants are like warriors defending your cells from the damage that accelerates aging. These compounds, the old man continued, are like little warriors, fighting cell damage in our bodies and helping us maintain our youth. But that's not all. He leaned in, his eyes gleaming with enthusiasm. Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that works synergistically with caffeine to enhance brain function. It's like giving your mind a gentle, yet powerful boost. Intrigued, the young man took a sip from his cup. It has an interesting taste, but how can a simple drink do so much, he asked, his curiosity growing. Ah, that's the beauty of nature, the old man replied. Dr. Andrew Weil, an expert in integrative medicine, calls green tea one of the healthiest beverages you can consume. Not only does it combat cell damage, but it also promotes longevity. The sage continued, "Did you know that Zen monks, known for their longevity and mental clarity, have been drinking green tea for centuries? It's no coincidence that many of the blue zones, areas of the world where people live the longest, have a tradition of drinking green tea regularly. But," he added with caution, "it's not just about drinking it. The ritual of preparing and enjoying tea is equally important. It's a time for calm and reflection, a pause in our busy day that allows us to reconnect with ourselves." The young man, now more captivated than ever, asked, So should I drink green tea all day?" The old man laughed warmly. "Moderation, my young friend. 2 or 3 cups a day is enough to reap its benefits. As Aristotle wisely said, virtue lies in the middle ground." With a wink, the old man added, "And don't forget, green tea can help you maintain a healthy weight. It increases energy expenditure and promotes fat oxidation. It's like having a personal trainer in a cup." The young man chuckled, beginning to see green tea with new eyes. "Master," he said with a smile, "I think I'm starting to understand why the ancients regarded tea as the elixir of life." "Exactly," the old man smiled. As the philosopher Lao Tzu said, "Tea is the elixir of life." The ancients knew the power of this simple leaf. We are just rediscovering their wisdom. The young man nodded, fully engrossed in the revelations about tea. But then, the old man's eyes twinkled mischievously. "But wait," he said, "there's more. What if I told you the next stop on our journey to eternal youth is your spice rack?" The apprentice looked puzzled as the sage strode toward the kitchen. With a theatrical gesture, the old man opened a small jar filled with a bright, deep yellow powder. "Do you recognize this golden spice?" he asked with a knowing smile. "Turmeric?" the young man replied, still not fully understanding. "Exactly," exclaimed the sage. "This little wonder is like a powdered elixir of youth. The ancient Indians called it the spice of life, and they were not wrong." The old man began to explain enthusiastically. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which acts like a protective shield for our cells. Imagine curcumin as an army of little golden warriors fighting against aging in every corner of your body. "But master," interrupted the young man, "how can a simple spice do so much?" The sage smiled, pleased by his apprentice's curiosity. "Ah, that is the beauty of nature. Curcumin is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It's like having a cleansing and repair team working 24/7 in your body." The elder continued, "Did you know that in India, where turmeric is a staple food, the rates of age-related diseases are significantly lower? This is no coincidence. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for thousands of years. Recent studies have shown that curcumin can improve heart health, reduce chronic inflammation, and even have positive effects on brain health. It's like you're giving your body a daily dose of youth," the sage explained. The young man, now intrigued, asked, "So I should eat spoonfuls of turmeric every day?" The old man let out a laugh. "Not so fast, my young friend. As Hippocrates said, the dose makes the poison. A little turmeric in your daily meals is enough." Then, with a wink, the sage added, "Turmeric is best absorbed when combined with black pepper and a source of healthy fat. It's as if nature has given us a perfect recipe for longevity." The old man began preparing a golden infusion, mixing turmeric, black pepper, and a little coconut oil in hot water. "This drink is like a warm hug for your body," he explained, "perfect to start the day or to relax you before bed." The young man took a sip of the golden infusion and smiled. Not bad. But master, don't you think after drinking so much turmeric, I'll start to see all yellow?" The old man laughed heartily. "Well, if that happens, at least you'll see life with a brighter and more optimistic touch." The old man smiled mysteriously. "Speaking of bright colors, what would you say if I told you there was an obscure food that could brighten your health? A guilty pleasure that actually hides the secret of youth?" The young man looked intrigued at the sage, who pulled a small bar of dark chocolate from his pocket. Chocolate? Really? The apprentice asked, with a mixture of surprise and skepticism. Not just any chocolate, the old man replied, with a twinkle in his eye. Dark chocolate, with at least 70% cocoa, is like a treasure trove in the world of healthy foods. It is rich in antioxidants and flavonoids, compounds that act like little warriors fighting against aging in your body, the old man explained, his voice full of quiet wisdom. The young man couldn't help but laugh. Are you telling me that eating chocolate is good for me? That sounds too good to be true. The sage smiled. But it is true. When it comes to dark chocolate, the flavonoids in dark chocolate are like a protective shield for your heart. They help lower blood pressure and improve blood circulation. It's like giving your cardiovascular system a warm, comforting hug. But that's not all, the elder continued enthusiastically. Recent studies suggest that regular consumption of dark chocolate may also improve cognitive function. It's like giving your brain an extra boost of energy and clarity. Now, genuinely intrigued, the young man asked, So, does that mean I should eat chocolate all day? The old man laughed heartily. Not so fast, my young friend. As Aristotle said, virtue lies in the middle ground. A small piece of dark chocolate each day is enough to obtain its benefits. With a wink, the sage added, and dark chocolate can also improve your mood. It contains compounds that stimulate the production of endorphins and serotonin, the so-called happiness chemicals. It's as if every bite is a little hug for your soul. The old man broke off a piece of dark chocolate and offered it to the young man. Try it, but savor it carefully. Let each bite melt slowly in your mouth. Conscious pleasure is part of the secret. As the young man tasted the rich chocolate, the sage reflected, You know, life is like this chocolate. Sometimes it may seem bitter at first, but if you savor it with patience, you will discover its hidden sweetness. And just like dark chocolate, life's simple pleasures, when enjoyed in moderation, can contribute to a long and happy existence. The elder's eyes gleamed with wisdom as he added, As the ancient Greeks said, we are what we eat. Since time immemorial, the transformative power of food has been recognized. We are simply rediscovering this wisdom, even in the most unexpected places, like a bar of chocolate. As the chocolate melted in his mouth, the apprentice pondered something that had been missing. Master, he said, all these tips are valuable, but what is the secret ingredient that ties them all together? The old man's eyes sparkled, and he smiled knowingly. My young friend, you've come to the heart of the matter. All these foods are wonderful, but there is one secret ingredient that surpasses them all. Can you guess what it is? The young man thought for a moment, reflecting on everything he had learned. Moderation, he ventured. Excellent observation, the old man nodded approvingly. Moderation is certainly important, but the real secret is even simpler, and at the same time, more profound. He paused dramatically before continuing. The most important secret ingredient for a long and healthy life is balance, not just in what we eat, but in how we live every day. You see, the sage explained, a balanced and varied diet is essential, but balance goes beyond food. It's about finding harmony in all aspects of our lives, between work and rest, activity and relaxation, solitude and companionship. The young man listened attentively, captivated by this new perspective. As Aristotle said, virtue lies in the middle ground. This applies not only to ethics, but also to our health and longevity, the old man continued. Think about it. We've talked about blueberries, spinach, salmon, walnuts, grape juice, yogurt, green tea, turmeric, and dark chocolate. Each has its unique benefits, but the real magic happens when we combine them in a balanced diet. The old man stood up, walking slowly as he gestured with his hands. Consistency is key. It's not about eating these so-called miracle foods once in a while. It's about maintaining healthy habits over time. As the philosopher Will Durant said, interpreting Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And don't forget pleasure, the wise man added with a wink. Enjoying food is as important as what we eat. Stress and anxiety can undo the benefits of even the healthiest diet. The young man nodded, beginning to grasp the depth of the teaching. So, the key is in how we live each day, not just in what we eat. Exactly, the old man exclaimed enthusiastically. true youth comes from how we live each day. Remember, a positive attitude, meaningful relationships, regular exercise, restful sleep, these elements are just as important as nutrition. The sage paused, allowing his words to settle into the young man's heart. Then, with a warm smile, he concluded, "Remember, longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years." As the psychologist Carl Jung said, "The life truly lived is the life that is full of meaning." The young man stood up, his heart full of gratitude. "Thank you, Master, for sharing your wisdom with me. I promise to apply these teachings in my life." The young man bade his farewell and began his descent down the mountain. His mind buzzed with new ideas, and his heart was filled with inspiration. He knew that this encounter had changed his life forever. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "We are what we eat," so I know who the victors are that made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Stoic Rise Up, and turn on notifications for more insightful content like this in the future. A big hug, and see you in the next video.